Sounds good. Now, you did win the Gibson Guitar Award for Best Female Rock Guitarist. I think it was in '01. Since you're going to be going out on tour, I love to know the difference between the gear that people use in their studio and when they're out on tour. Can you tell us a little bit about your gear?
Oh, sure. When I'm in the studio, I tend to either bring my own vintage guitars that I have because I love them. I've got a J45 and a Hummingbird. I've got a Fender, F-hole Telecaster. Just some really great vintage stuff that I just won't take out on tour because the road is too hard on those instruments. But I'll use those in the studio, and then when I go on tour, I will use my Ovation guitars because they hold up, they stay in tune. I can bang the crap out of them, and they hold up. So that's the acoustics I use of that, and then I use I've got some PRSs that are great road guitars that I play on the electric. So yeah, it's definitely two different things.
Yeah.
But they're both high quality. Yeah.
I just have to ask, how many guitars do you have? Do you keep track?
I've lost track. Yeah.
That means it's a lot.
I remember when I had one, and I would pray that nothing would happen to it. So I'm very grateful to be in a position where I don't know how many guitars I have. I'm sure I have, 60, 70, 100 maybe. I'm not sure.
Wow. Now, I read in your liner notes, actually, something about a mandolin guitar, and I always thought you just played either a guitar or mandolin. Is that a hybrid model, something specifically for you?
Yes. I wish I was as talented to play a mandolin. The mandolin is all completely different tuning, and it's like a violin tuning, and I never learned it, and I was always a bit intimidated by it. And then I found that they have these things called the Mando Git, that's what it's called. And it was first invented in like the 50s and 60s with Vox, and since then Phantom has bought the Vox patent, and now Phantom makes a guitar, and that's what I use on the road. Is this, and it's standard guitar tuning, but it's all high strung like a mandolin, so it sounds like a mandolin, but you're playing it as a guitar.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, it's because I noticed it's full size, and I'm used to seeing the different size. I don't know that much enough about a mandolin to know the difference if they come in those sizes. I just noticed it was something different, so I was curious about it. Now, I'm going to go back to touring. I know that you're very close with your family, and you've got kids, and I was wondering how you juggle that. Do you ever bring them on tour with you?
Yes, that's one of the reasons I tour mostly in the summertime, is that they'll be out of school and they'd love to jump on the bus. They go to camps and a lot of other things, but when they're not doing that, they are definitely on tour with me. The 3-year-olds, the little ones that I have, won't be on tour with me as much. I will spend more time going to see them because it's hard and they don't quite understand what I'm doing. But the big ones, the 11 and 13-year-olds, they love it.
Oh, that's so neat. That must be so cool for them to walk around saying, yeah, that's my mom. Do they
No, they sort of go, oh, my God, that's my mom.
More of a shying away, so they don't go and tell their friends and bring do they ever want to, especially the 13-year-old, want to bring a friend on tour, things like that?
Sometimes. We meet up with a lot of people out there. We have a lot of friends on the road.
Oh, that's neat. That's really cool. Now, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, I'm just really looking forward to this summer and touring, and I feel just awesome about it. And I'm always it's the best thing I do. It's why I do all the other work, is so I can get out there on stage and share this with everybody.
Now, obviously, you've had a lot of battles that you've fought over the years, particularly with the breast cancer and personal challenges and things like that. How are you feeling? How is everything going? Your health?
You know what? I am healthier and stronger than ever. I've really realized that it's about taking care of myself. It's about finding that balance in my life between stress and love, and then loving myself enough to eat the foods that fuel my body and make me stronger. And so I am healthier than I've ever been. And happier.
That's great to hear, but how do you, my question is, how do you keep that focus? How do you, and what would you say to maybe other people suffering some similar issues that you have gone through?
Once you do focus into it, once you do give your attention to yourself and making yourself happy and finding that balance and getting rid of guilt or shame or any of those just useless emotions that hold us down. Once you find that balance, even for a moment, you know when you're out of balance and you want to be in balance, and you start walking a path of, why am I eating this thing that's 90% sugar when it's just going to make me feel horrible? It's just going to damage my body. My body is this wonderful case that I live in, and I want to take care of it. And you just start walking that path.
And I have one more question for you. It's a little off the beaten path, but I'm just curious. What's your favorite Bruce Springsteen song? I always hear how much of a big fan you are, so I'm curious.
Well, huge fan. I got to tell you, wow, that's hard because I love so much of everything that he does. I would say if I had to listen to one, it would be Jungle Land. That song just transports me.
When would you say, are you in the mood where you just have to go and throw in some Bruce Springsteen and listen? And is that a stress reliever, or is that just something that just makes you feel good?
No, it's a stress reliever. It's a feel good. It's an inspiration. Yeah.
Anything else regarding the album that you would like the fans to know about?
No, it's all good. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks very much for taking the time to talk with us. And I'll be looking very forward to seeing you on tour.
All right, thanks.
I'm Dee Haley, and we've been talking with Melissa Etheridge on BackstageAccess.com.